Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's show is a brand new exclusive series written by a good friend of mine from way back, and I covered a couple of his stories already, Mr. S.Binx. Fantastic writer, guys, and a good friend of the show. As ever, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments. Please do like and share and help build this community and channel. And of course, don't forget to hashtag TeamFEAR. If you're looking to wrap up warm this Christmas, why not grab yourself a wonderful warm jumper from the merchandise store above. Or simply click the link in the description box below. Without further ado, let's get into a brand new series exclusive to the DMT Forest of Fear channel entitled The Buckthorn Valley Horror. Part 1. Let's get straight into that. The cold of the wooden stock, the weights of the barrel. Hinges scream as wooden doors are forced open, and the cold wind whipped and whistled through the black abyss of the old building. But the shadows were deceptive. The darkness hung a faint odour of pain, anger, and malice intent were tangible in the air. Realization struck like a knife in the back, splintering his spine. Something was there with him. Spurred by fright, he ran through the old squeaking door, back to the overgrown lumberyard. A terrifying roar from behind forced him to look. A blur of black mass leaping through the air. A natural reaction. He turned, trying to raise his 308. It felt like a stone block, slow and heavy. Eons had passed in his mind before the deafening bang rings his ears and impacted the stock against his shoulder. Blood sprays from the dark mass as it veers to the left, and only a flash in the corner of his eyes before it passed him. The impact of the crash sends debris in all directions, and blood seeps from a wound, one slash before it fell. In his mind, prayers that it is only a scratch. He approached the dark mass as blood trickles through the gravel. Now what remains of an ear lays in tatters. It was a headshot, yes, but not fatal. Come on, Ellis. You can do this. Run! Just bloody run! Ah, the gods! I can't even feel my feet. This place, that thing. Fuck! Run! Contort your body. Fire! Chamber the next! Fire again! Blank! Ah! This goddamn gun! Where is it? It's so fast. Oh, God save me. Run, you idiot. Just run again. I don't feel the bushes. Ignore the pain. You haven't got time. Turn. Aim. Fire. Again. Last round. It's not far to the house. Got to get to the house faster, you idiot. God, age just caught up with me. These legs feel old. But that thing is coming. Now, I have to fight both age and death. Great. God, Ellis, what was that? It's not a bear, that's for sure. No bear climbs like that, moves like that. It's close. I can't see it, but it's coming. The door! Come on, you old bastard. Be good for something and get that door open. But what after? Never leave again? No. Come on, just get it done. Across the river, up the stairs, the door, in. Ah! Twist, point, aim. At what? Nothing's there. It's gone? No. I can't believe it gave up. Gave up? Or it's out of its territory. Did it just give up? Yeah. Yeah, that's right, it gave up. Oh God, this scratch. It burns. Hot and weeping. Blood trickling, darker than normal, running down my arm. Damn! I can't stay. Even if it's gone. I have to go. I have to go too. I have to get to Trevor. I've got a story, said Scott as he passed around the bottle of spiced rum. His audience, his closest friends, waiting in anticipation as they gazed over the dancing flames. He leaned down, poking the embers with a crooked stick, watching smoke whisked into the endless dark of the night sky. Flames hissed and spat white sparks that sporadically jigged as they climbed. their glow mimicking that of the stars that were above. His lips parted once more. Have I ever told you about the Buckthorn Valley horror? Not for me, mate. Scott's hand waved away the dark liquor that Jacob was passing back to him. If I'm going to tell a good story, I'll need a level head. Sammy reached and eagerly received the spirit bottle. Yeah, what are you trying to do, Jacob? Getting pissed? I haven't heard this one, and it sounds like it's going to be messing me up. Jacob chuckled in response. Is that why you snatched that bottle so fast, huh? You trying to build up some courage? Sammy flipped the bird, and the rest of the group made a childish woo, and everyone began laughing heartily. Light-heartedly, Scott broke the laughter. All right, Scott continued. Leave Sammy alone. It's not his fault he's a chicken. He looked at his friend. Sammy had the air of a boy who never rose from his bed before 11 a.m. Anyway, I'm guessing that's a no then. All right, I'll tell you, and I'll start at the beginning. Scott's eyes took upon a darkness. His gaze penetrated the mind and heart like a Trojan horse, unleashing anticipation and unavoidable fear into his friends. It all started in the upper part of Washington state, near the border, probably not too far from where we are now. The year was 1976. The demand for timber was high, and people who had the land were selling it to the logging companies. All apart from Mr. Ellis J. Buckthorn, who figured he would hire a crew to begin logging his newly acquired 1,000 acres. It wasn't long till he had himself a crew of 30 or so men, and they began work. Now, after a few months, they had established a logging road through the estate and a mill to process the wood. The logging had been so successful that in just 3 years, 150 acres of the valley had been cut. With a prosperous future in mind, Ellis chose to put everything into a new family house that was built in the south end of the very same valley. It was beautiful. 3 stories, 6 bedrooms. A log and stone construction, not 30 yards from a stone-bed river that ran down from the hills and passed in front of an expanse of grass meadow. After seeing his newly constructed home, Ellis had a change of heart and decided that the valley was too beautiful to cut down. Instead, he began to purchase land for his workers to log. 10 years had passed, but time after time, Ellis would be outbid for the land by larger, more wealthy companies, and eventually he was forced to reopen the Buckthorn lumberyard. 10 years, and the mill had not been touched. Something was bound to have called the abandoned building home. Ellis had a few men clear the yard, make sure nothing was in residence. Eventually, in 1988, the Buckthorn lumber mill was up and running again, and everything was like the old times, right up until the foreman called the landline early one morning, telling him the men who worked late were seeing dark shapes darting between the trees and refused to come back to work. So what was it the men were seeing? Jim questioned. A group of 4 men said they had seen what they said could only have been an emaciated black bear. They were questioned by the foreman and Ellis, who assumed they must have been lying, probably to get some kind of compensation. So he fired them the same day. Jess managed to calm everyone down to a more or less quiet state. Keep going. She motioned to Scott. I want to hear what happened. Believe me, you wish you didn't. Scott's own girlfriend squeezed up closer to him and held tightly to his hand. She was newer to the group and wasn't big on scary stories, but it was evident to all around that they loved each other dearly. I'll stop if you want, babe. He spoke softly and kissed her head. She looked up at him with pearlescent blue eyes that dazzled him into the light of the fire. No, it's okay. I'll just sit closer to you from now on. Nodding his head, he turned back to the gang. Scott resumed his tale. Ellis hired a hunter to deal with the problem animal. The hunter surveyed the area for 3 weeks and found nothing. He gave his findings to the foreman, who then sent the men back to work, telling them that the problem was over, but told the hunter to continue hunting. The hunter argued with him, but eventually conceded to the idea, on one condition. He told the foreman to reduce work in the area the animal was last seen, and he would go and hunt the bear. It took the animal 2 weeks to show itself, I've heard he blew its brains out through its arse. Jim gestured the necessary hand actions to emphasise his comment. Not quite, replied Scott. Courtney's soft voice that was so close to his shoulder let slip a few trembling words. So the bear got away? He shook his head. No, babe. He got the bear. But not before 3 men had been killed. Jess gasped. Oh, damn! How did they die? Sev snorted. Ha 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 ha! How do you think, dummy? The bear mauled them. That's what bears do. Well, mates, that's the thing. This bear was said to be skinny. Some of the other workers were later questioned, but he broke off once more and took a swig of bud. No one knows what they said. Was it covered up or something? Scott looked at Jacob. There is that, as well as if the bear was capable of killing these men at all. Obviously it could. Sammy took a swig of his own beer and also made a gesture with his hands. It was a bear. Scott smirked. He couldn't contain his giggle at his drunk friend. He leaned in and pulled a more controlled expression. Tell me, Sam, could an emaciated male bear, one that should be 300 or 400 pounds, but was reportedly less than 200, could an animal like that commit such an atrocity? The official report was 3 men dead after a bear attack, but the unofficial story said the legs of the man, who was 15 feet off the ground, were ripped off at the waist. Another was so badly mangled that he was unrecognisable as a human being. Sammy pondered as he rocked back and forth, his face beginning to start losing colour as he was blatantly picturing the event in his own mind. He slumped down and begged the question. What about the third? Well, that's what made all the workers leave. The third man was found impaled 30 feet up a tree. His head was never recovered. So that's why it's called Buckthorn Valley Horror. No, Jacob, it's not. That was just the beginning. The reason it got that name is what happened 8 years ago. Unexpectedly, Ellis shows up at his brother's house in Bellevue. He developed a fever, and not more than a few days later, he died in hospital. It was so unexpected. He became too ill before he could have anything done with Buckthorn Manor. So his brother inherited the land and house and made it a holiday home. Didn't Ellis tell his brother? Retorted Jess. If I knew there was a monster in my woods, I'd tell the first person I could. Well, no one knows, because when Trevor Buckthorn was questioned about his brother, he said Ellis was disorientated, borderline hallucinogenic. The guy had an infection. He must have been so out of it that he couldn't say anything. 11 years passed since, and his son, who was 19, took the opportunity to take a group of friends and enjoy the summer break there. Jim picked up. Yeah, I heard about that from my dad. He was a sheriff's deputy, and he heard about it from a deputy who was sent to investigate. Everyone went missing. Nothing was found, just blood and carnage. Dude, are you going to let me tell this story? As I was saying, it was 2009 in North Washington State. Wow, I know that's a bit of a cliffhanger ending there for you guys, but fantastically written, great format, great humour, and a very good tension building up in that storyline. Thank you ever so much, S.Binx, for working with me once again and letting me have this exclusive story. Fantastic stuff. As ever, guys and girls, please do let us know down below in the comments what you thought. Please do like and share and help build this community and channel. Already the community and channel is growing and growing so fast each day by sort of 15 or 25 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible, guys. So humbled, so very proud. I realise I haven't been, putting out longer stories and not as many uploads. To be honest with you guys, it's my own health and stress and depression's got me, beats me back sometimes, plus some training, getting back to work soon after my back's all fixed up. But I promise you, we're going nowhere, and as soon as I can, I record. Got an absolutely action-packed and blood-curdling true story compilation that I'm putting together speaking with various witnesses at the moment for the past couple of weeks. We're going to save that all up and have a nice compilation to bring out for Christmas as a Christmas special. As ever, guys, above all, please do remember, be safe, not sorry.